5 straight weeks on the road. But Andrew, we've had all sorts of great support categories along the way, and with this one, we're kind of blessed with 2 for the price of 1. The MX-5s or Miatas in one end of the grid, if you like, and at the other, the Magic RX-8s here. Very cool.
Leo Bolt starting out of P1 and Rex Edwards out of P2, sitting on the front row there. It's a long wait sitting there waiting for the race to start, especially with this many cars. Ben Stewart, who did a great job with us last weekend in the GTR NZ racing, Class 2 competitor who was very strong there at Hampton Downs, has made the step up from the RX-8. Young guy with a bit of kart racing and certainly very solid sim racing experience. Ran a 500 horsepower Nissan last weekend, but he's been an absolute star at champion when it comes to being at the wheel of the RX-8s. Yeah, he has, and and as I said before, racing in this category is just so good for your racecraft. To see the lights build up, revs build up, and we are racing.
Cars that stretch all the way back around the front straight, waiting for, there you go, there's the first of the MX-5s coming through now, but we're underway and racing.
So you may see multiple lines here. If you can hang on the outside here, you're going to have the inside line for turn 2. Let's see if they all get through cleanly.
Good start. Everyone seems to have been able to get away nice and cleanly. Leo Bolt and Rex Edwards fight up in front there.
So better start for Rex on the outside there. So that's a telling sign. So he's been on the race line, the cleaner line off the start there. So obviously a bit more grip there. Managed to make it work and got the start. Just see all the Mazda MX-5s trying to filter in. Not much room for 3 wide down into there, but not a lot of horsepower in the MX-5, so it's really important to make sure you're getting a good run off the corner so you minimise the damage.
Watching the onboards from Manfield, it is just literally all about momentum, isn't it? The moment in an MX-5 that you're compromised or you know, in any way can't use all of the speed, you are in all sorts of bother.
Yeah, well, you're now a Mazda MX-5
I don't know about that, no.
After your efforts, which we'll see later on in the broadcast, but it's, yeah, you're the pro. You should be talking about those ones.
I am far from a pro, young man. Appreciate you.
We'll work on your starts
yeah,
first.
Great. I've had a lot of help with that. That's for certain. So that MX-5 Heritage Cup, and you've got to remember the MX-5 in particular. When did that? I think they first launched that car back in 1989. So
that's the year I was born.
Are you serious? Now I'm old. I feel very old.
So far, so clean in the racing. No, we haven't seen too much banging and hitting each other. It's all pretty clean. As you can see, Leo Bolt there trying his best to get into the back of Rex Edwards there, but Rex just looking pretty comfortable there. He's got a decent lead.
With about a 0.6, I was going to say almost 0.7 of a second lead over Bolt, so nice work. Little flash of flame from some of the RX-8s too.
Great little section up there through turn 2 and 3. It's a fun part of the track, but really hard to get right, as well as they go through the 6 turn 7 there. Another corner that's quite hard to get the exit right, so you can see them just pushing away, and it's important because when you come up to turn 9 here, very fast part of the track, you see Leo with a little bit of rear slide action going on the entry there. Yeah, it is. It's one of the more important corners on the track, because if you get it right, you can see here, you can see the car on the inside, the number 145. Once you get stuck down there, you've got to really try and make sure there's no one on your outside to use all the road, as it's a long run down into turn 2. Sorry, down to the last section of the track, shall I say.
I knew what you meant. We knew what you meant. Little 1600cc Mark 1, bit of bonnet. Something's going on with the front of that bonnet, is it? The 3, just at the end of the back straight when all that speed and air pressure is on it, just seem to be...
Yeah, moving around a little bit there, but we know Nick Cummings is very fast. We saw him at...
shallow!
Had a dive up there to the 47, nearly made it work, just not quite late enough in there, as he started to back out of it, just didn't have it right away into the corner there.
Yeah. Had a look, showed the nose. We go back to the MX-5s and have a look at that chasing pack.
Yeah, so really Nick there just carrying on in his winning ways in the MX-5 coming out of Manfield the last round. And he's very, very fast here. Look at him hanging on to the back of the one of the RX-8s too.
Nice work. When it comes to modifications to the car, there are, a strict set of things you can or can't do. As we look at this here, 3 wide going into turn 1.
Mazda MX-5 racing at its best. You can see Matt Dilley just get a little bit wide. Is he going to have the line into the turn 2? Just got his nose in there. So make their way back up over the Golden Homes. Right-hander there, dropping down into pieces. Quite a lot of undulation down into that corner there, more than you think. But this battle is raging. 4 laps to go. Who's going to come out on top?
A couple of the boys from Napier and Oni Kawa there in the CCR repairs entries. 0.3 between Simon Baker and Sam Dashfield in that fight for 3rd place. We go back to, look at this, among the MX-5s.
Little lock up there for the 74, just trying to get the car pulled up. Mike Greenfield on the inside of Matt Dilley. Is he going to be able to make it stick as they come up towards turn 9? Matt Dilley very, very wide out there. Hard to get the car back to the race line, but he's managed to make it happen.
Good job. Matt Dilley gets it done, carries great pace through there. And Chris Rennie, I think, coming through as well. So back up to the 3. Nick Cummings, 26 for the race. But superb job in the MX-5s. Huge roll-up of Mazdas here at Taupo International Motorsport Park, and that's just the beginning of their offering for the weekend.
Yeah, it is. Walk in the park there for Cummings taking the win. And 2nd place there we see Oliver Sapsford as well, so great job by him too.
Look at this, continuing here. CCR boys from Napier in Hawke's Bay, about 130 k's down the road, about a 2-hour drive here from Taupo back on the east coast. Nice, really showed the nose there, carried. Rd2 is quite an interesting sequence of corners. If you carry speed through there, it can really work in your favour, can't it?
Yeah, it can, and the best part about that corner, if you can really work on the car to get the exit out of there, that's when you have a shot onto turn 1. But last lap, once you're into that section of corners, very, very hard to make a pass.
Great stuff up in front. In the end, though, Bolt wouldn't be quite close enough. We recap our Super Sprint Motorsport New Zealand results. Next Gen Tyres Mazda Racing Series, first outing of the weekend. The Phil Blythe Motorsport entry in the hands of Rex Edwards does it by 0.3 over Leo Bolt. What a fight for 3rd. Simon Baker gets there ahead of Sam Dashfield. Those two split by 0.3 as we said, and Chris White Jr. was very much in the fight, in the mix there for that final spot. Further back, it's a huge array of Mazda RX-8. Steve Brown not quite making the top 10. Matt Dodd finishes in 16th place. And we're looking for the first of our runners in the MX-5 class. That was, in fact, the end. In 26th place outright, car number 3 of Nick Cummings, who takes it out for the MX-5. Some highlights for you now. Race 1 of the Next Gen Tyres Mazda Racing Series. Good fight up in front. Rex Edwards getting the job done early, but Leo Bolt would push him.
Yeah, he pushed him all the way. Didn't quite manage to have enough pace to get onto the back of him. Go back to the drawing board and see what he can do for the next one.
Look at this here. A little bit of a late break, and then it was brewing, building in the fight for 3rd position. Chris White Jr., pretty racy early on, but Simon Baker and Sam Dashfield. Then back to the MX-5s here. There's the
Sam Dashfield trying to get everything he could to try and get the move to happen. Stuck his nose at different spots, but also having to defend from behind.
Shows just how closely matched the cars are. Chris White Jr. drifted back a little bit, but came back into contention at the end. So did Leo Bolt. He saved a little bit for that run to the line. In the end, Rex Edwards, safely puts it in the bank. And look how close it was in the run for 3rd, with Cummings taking things out in the MX-5s.